Are y'all thinking about moving to Frisco and you're trying to decide what area you want to live in, which community? You probably want to pick a community that checks most or all of your boxes, and y'all know that this is different for everybody. So in this video, we're going to talk about some of the most important aspects that you need to look for when you're trying to find your new community that you want to live in Frisco. And we're going to start right now. Now, if y'all have kids, one of the things that's probably most important to you when you're picking your area to live in Frisco is the schools. Frisco Independent School District is an excellent school district. They're consistently ranked as one of the top school districts in all of Texas. They have many schools. There are about 43 elementary schools, 17 middle schools, and 12 high schools, in addition to the private schools and things like that. Because there are so many schools, it makes the classrooms much smaller, so the students get more one-on-one attention. It also makes it so that they're able to participate in more extracurricular activities. So because of the small sizes of the schools, more kids are able to try out and make the different teams that they want to get on. And most of the schools are equipped with the latest technology and state-of-the-art computer labs, which helps the kids so that they can get ahead and get a head start. Now, the next thing is a neighborhood activity. What kind of a neighborhood do you want to live in? Do you want to live in a neighborhood where there's lots of activity going on, there's lots of people out walking around, lots of hustle and bustle? Do you want a neighborhood that has a lot of neighborhood parties? Maybe they shut the street down and they've got block parties and everybody hangs out outside and they have big barbecues going on. Do you want a community where you can park on the streets? If you're in some of the gated communities, the HOA doesn't allow you to park on the streets. So that's really important that you look, when you're looking for your neighborhood, you look and see what's allowed and what is not allowed. Do you want to be in a neighborhood maybe that has a lot of busyness in the morning or busyness in the evening? Do you want a neighborhood that is super quiet? Or do you want one where there is, like we were talking about earlier, just more activity, more things going on in the neighborhood? I always suggest to people that you drive around the neighborhood you're thinking of moving to at different times of the day. So drive it in the morning, like maybe when people are getting ready to go to work and to school. Drive by in the middle of the day to see what kind of activity there is, and then again at night. That just gives you a good idea of what you're going to get when you're moving into that neighborhood. Okay, the next thing to think about is, what don't you like? So are you thinking, I don't want to live close to schools because I don't want to have to worry about traffic or getting out of my driveway because people are parked there waiting on their kids after school? Maybe you want to live close to the schools. Maybe you want to live close enough so that you can actually walk your kids to school, or they can walk themselves if they're old enough. Do you not like a lot of traffic? That makes a big difference when you're trying to figure out which neighborhood and which area you want to live in Frisco. Are you retired and maybe you want to live around other people that are retired and they're doing activities and you want to be able to do things with your neighbors? So maybe you want to move to a neighborhood where you're more the same age as all of your neighbors. If you go to church, do you want to live close to your church? Do you not mind driving, 20, 25 minutes to get to church? Or do you want to live 5 or 10 minutes so that you can get in the car on Sunday and get there quickly? Maybe you're a young family and you want to live near a lot of parks, a lot of things for your kids to do. That's important to think about when you're trying to figure out the neighborhood that you really want to buy in. Now, the next thing to think about is amenities. Do you want a neighborhood that has a community pool? Maybe you want a golf course actually in the community that you're allowed to use. Maybe you want a clubhouse. Do you want an HOA? Some people are like, I want an HOA because I want the neighborhood to stay well kept. You want everybody to keep their houses looking nice and their lawns looking nice. Or maybe you're at the exact opposite and you're like, I do not want an HOA because I don't want anybody telling me what I can do to my lawn or what I can do to the front of my house. Some people like the HOA because then it makes it so people can't paint their house these wild and crazy colors. Some people don't care. That's a really important thing to think about when you're trying to figure out which area you want to live in Frisco. Another amenity you may want is the gated community. Maybe it gives you a sense of security to have that gated community. So you'll want to look among the gated communities in Frisco. Ask me because I can give you a list of the different gated communities. You can drive around and see which one you think is the best fit for you. The next thing is walkability. Pretty much anywhere in Frisco, Texas, you're going to need a car to get around. But maybe you want to live close to downtown, close to the square. And the square, you have restaurants and you have coffee shops and you have little stores. So all kind of things that you can walk to. So maybe you want to live close to that so that you don't have to get in your car every single time you want to go somewhere. You can just walk and get there 5 or 10 minutes walking. And for walkability, maybe you want walking trails in your neighborhood. Maybe you want to be able to walk out your front door and walk a little bit and get to a trail where you can go walk around, get your exercise, maybe see some different community parks, some different community lakes, things like that. Think about those things when you're thinking about what neighborhood you want to choose in Frisco. And don't forget, make sure you ask me because I can give you a list. You can tell me the things that you think are really important. I can help you narrow down the neighborhood so you can pick the one that's going to be best for you. Okay, the next thing is proximity to work. How close do you want to live to work? Do you want to live close enough that you can jump on the toll and get there and you can get there quickly and you don't have to worry about it? Do you want to live somewhere where you do not want to take a toll? You'd much rather drive side streets so that you can get to work, so that you don't have to pay that toll every single month. Maybe you're working out of your house now, so you're thinking, I don't care how close it is to things. I can live out in the country and I can have acres because it doesn't matter how close I am to, say, the toll or 121 or wherever it is that you're trying to get to go. I've had clients before that pick the neighborhood they want to buy in specifically because it is close to, say, the toll or it's close to 121 so that they can get on it quickly and they don't have to drive 15 or 20 minutes just to get to it. Also, it's really important about the neighborhood and how long it takes you just to get out of your neighborhood. There are some neighborhoods right now that it can take you 15 minutes just to get out of your neighborhood, depending on where you live in the neighborhood. So important to think about that. Ask me again. I can give you a list of different ones so that you can help make your choice the best fit for you. Now, the next thing is actually choosing your neighborhood. Now, this is the fun part. This is where we get to start looking for homes for you. You've narrowed down your search and you've picked 3 or 4 of the best neighborhoods that you think are going to be a really good fit for you. We can start narrowing down the homes you want to go see and then actually start looking at the homes. Don't forget to share your list with me so that I can help you narrow down your search of homes to look for. You maybe want to look at 50 homes as opposed to hundreds and hundreds of homes to find the one that's going to be your next home in Frisco. So in this video, we talked about some different aspects that are really, really important when you're trying to choose a neighborhood you want to live in Frisco. The number one thing we talked about was the schools. Do you want to live close to them? You don't care. Second thing is neighborhood activity. Drive around the neighborhood at different times of the day so you can get a different feel for the activity and the traffic in that neighborhood. The next thing was make a list of things that you don't like. That way you can cross off some of the neighborhoods because you can cross off the ones that have things that you do not want in your new neighborhood. The next thing was amenities. What kind of amenities do you want in your new neighborhood that you're going to buy in? The next thing was walkability. Pretty much like we talked about, you're going to have a car anywhere you are in Frisco, but you might want to live closer to downtown like we talked about. So think about that. And the final thing we talked about was choosing the neighborhood. After you've helped to narrow it down, choosing the perfect neighborhood for you. Don't forget to reach out to me and share your list with me so that I can help you. You can call me, text me, email me, Zoom, whatever you want to do. We can talk any way you want to. Thanks so much for watching my video, and I'll see you next time.